Okay. What is up, people? What is up, people? Okay. Second. What is up, people? What is up, people? My apologies. I haven't been live in quite a while. But I am way. But I am way. Apologies if you're seeing this. I am just checking audio, visuals, the usual board stuff. I will try to really get started with the content in like 5 minutes. How are you hearing me? How are you hearing me? Hear me? Audio. Apologies. Apologies. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Now we're gonna see how the audio is shifted. Now. All right. Now we're gonna see how the audio is shifted. Now. Now we're gonna see how the audio is shifted. I'm not low with it. I'm getting all these notifications. That feedback is horrible. Okay. I'm gonna try to go on. I don't see a chat, so forgive me. I am using StreamYard, so if the audio sucks, let me know. I'm trying to. Okay, so I found where the comments would be. All right. Just a few more seconds before we hit the 5 minute mark. I'll try to wait a few minutes. Anybody who comes in can come in. About to get started. Depending on how I'm going to hit this, I'm going to try to hit just a few topics, play a few videos, and we'll get on out of here. Again, I'll be looking at this through the playback, but let me know if the audio, how am I sounding? I'm looking okay as far as what I can tell. But if there is any kind of interference, just kind of let me know. But we'll get started. All right. All right. 5 minutes. That's about good enough. If you don't know, this is Psalmist Scribe, and we're going to hit on a few topics. One of which I am so late to the party, it is very old, and that is, I say, Crunchyroll East Funimation. Uh, Basically, if you was a sucker like me, and let's see, and you was on Funimation, like I was, it really paid off to be just on Crunchyroll apparently, because now all the content that's on Funimation is moving to Crunchyroll. And don't I feel like a sucker? So here's what we're gonna do. I made a video. I made a video, but I didn't post it, and I'm going to try play this video. And be right back. How you doing, people? It's Scribe. Now, I usually don't cover this sort of thing, but I'm trying something new out. And if things go well, you can expect to see more of this content on this channel. So without further ado, I'm sure most of the anime community is already aware that Funimation is looking to be phased out, as all of this content will be moving over to Crunchyroll. Now, Funimation itself is not going anywhere, so you have a subscription. It doesn't mean that your service is dead. It doesn't mean that it's useless. It does mean, however, that they're not going to be adding any more shows onto the platform, and all new shows will be exclusively on Crunchyroll. Now, depending on how you look at it, this is good or bad news. For some who have both subscriptions, good news, because now you don't have to pay for both and one subscription in one location. Not halfway news if you only was stuck on Funimation, and your boy was one of them. Yeah, that's right. I was on the Funimation for the dubs, and I'm one of them. Joke's on me. Now, I was paying month to month. I wasn't doing a yearly plan, so I'm not looking at too big of a headache. But, all they seem to be offering, if you were in Funimation and you do the yearly, they're not going to give you no refund. But they are going to give you 3 months of Crunchyroll Premium for free. You should have received your email by the 8th, so by the time you're hearing this, check your inbox. I've done mine. I've already activated it. And it's actually the few times that I've gone on Crunchyroll, and there is a lot to get into, and more will be added on. So all in all, I'm going to take this as a positive. I'm going to take this as a big video, although it does mean Sony kind of corners the market, at least over in the West when it comes to anime. The only other competition it has is what, Netflix and Hulu, which who cares? But what do y'all think about it? Y'all think the price is going to jack up like Netflix? Anyway, that is Scribe. I shall see you in the next one. Is it too good to be true? I want this so much, but don't know if I can trust you. My mind's racing fast. All right. So that was basically news. That's old news. By this point, I'm gonna try to get this, these things out a lot quicker. But basically, now gonna have one app for all anime content. At least, again, like I said in the video, at least for
over here in the West, except for Hulu and Netflix. Now I kind of dogged on Hulu or Netflix because who cares, but I also don't like monopolies. I don't particularly like. I mean, I don't have no evil, kind of will towards Sony, but at the same time, I don't really like any company having a monopoly on anime because again, the price is reasonable right now. Uh, but when there is a monopoly and when they corner the market, and even if you say, hey, there's some good stuff on Netflix and Hulu, you know, Crunchyroll has all the golden ones. And or it has at least the vast majority of it to where it could basically just do what it wants to do. So right now, there's no point in me being, us being scared about it. Well, I guess no one being scared about it but me. Uh, but that's all I want to say. We move on to the next subject. My goodness, we'll get to the. I'm trying to see when do I want to talk about the Nazarene Mutant here. All right, I'll put up one little bit before I move on. I think I want to hit on the Nazarene Mutant and then end with my interview with Jeremiah Knight. Okay, so this is just a little bit of a. I wish I had a transition. I need a transition to go from uh, one to the. All right, well, hold on. Got a little something, something. All right. So we are going to transition and we're going to get into a new topic. And then how these things are going to go, I'm going, at the end of this live, which probably take another 15, 20-ish minutes. And then I'm going to be releasing at least 2, 3 videos that was in this live and spread it throughout the week. So if you're seeing, uh, so you're watching this live now, then you're going to basically get all the content supposedly for the week all in one go. Now, unless something drastic happens that I think is just newsworthy that I have to jump on and just upload a video unexpected, but how hopefully this is how the scheduling will work. I will go live in the beginning of the week. Right now it's looking like a Sunday, and then kind of what I'm going to talk about the rest of the week, and just kind of drop it here and there. So we just talked about how Crunchyroll just became the dominant anime force, at least in the U.S., and we're going to get into a little bit of that Attack on Titan not final season. Be right back. So if you're like me, you I have been watching. Now I didn't watch Attack on Titan when it first aired. I came in around season 2 or season 3 when it was airing, actually live. Um, but I got caught up. I got addicted real quick. Uh, I got addicted after I got addicted at the same time I got traumatized by it, which is funny. But basically, we were kind of promised, at least last year, that season 4 is the last season of the Attack on Titan, and it's not. I know they're calling it. I'm joined by a lot of people that's kind of in the same thought of you breaking up a season in what was it, 3 parts now? Oh my goodness! By the way, if you're just joining me, uh, if my audio again, I don't go live often, and this is the first. This is kind of a new camera and the microphone. So if by the way, just let me know is the audio terrible. If it's bearable, I'm going to be looking through this in the playback. Hopefully, it'd be good. Um, if you just join us, I'm going through like several subjects. The subject I put in the headline, the Nazarene Mutant, I'm going to save that for the next subject, and then I'm going to end with my interview with Mr. Jeremiah Knight. But on this little mini little rant about Attack on Titan, which I believe is arguably one of the best written shows that I've seen, and I'm not even talking about just anime. Um, but and it was as we got closer to the final episodes, and it just hit me today would be a Sunday, which there is not going to be an Attack on Titan episode until the year 2023. Um, I'm fine with waiting. I guess I will prefer a season more than I would a a movie. Although I would have definitely went to the movie. Went to the I went to the what's this famous anime, this big anime that people are talking about, and Jujutsu Kaisen. I have not watched a single episode of Jujutsu Kaisen, but I had to kind of chaperone my baby sister and her little friends, and so I went to the movie. Good movie, kind of fire though. Did I know what was going on? No, but I could kind of catch on. So with Attack on Titan, I want them to take their time with it. I am like avoiding all kind of sports. That's one of the reasons I'm a little irked, is because there's content, there's people I'm avoiding because they read the manga, they know the ending, they know the ending since last year, and we're getting it what 2023. You, I could have handled winter of this year, fine, but you said 2023, which means that could be January, that could be a year from now, and I'm torn. I'm torn between one. I want my anime now, the selfish consumer reason, but I also know that there's a lot of work and pressure that are put on these anime studios, and an unhealthy amount. Like I hear that uh, I always laugh. Just a minute. Oh my goodness. Y'all bear with me. I'm sorry. Just bear with me. Uh,
Hey, I need you to hook that thing back up.
what the speaker?
Yeah.
Oh, give me like 10 minutes.
I'll take care.
All right, go. Oh my goodness. Uh, my apologies. Sorry. Neighbor. Um, lost my. Where was I? Okay. So I'm caught between myself and consumerism and just what my anime now, and kind of being understanding of a lot of work goes into making these shows, the animation, the storyline. Storyline is about finished, and then I'm hearing that it might be a different ending than the manga readers. Okay. Um, only in I'm doing a small rant after like a little bit of baby, but I'm gonna get my anime. I just don't like the fact that I'm gonna have to avoid spoilers for the time being. My friend who is says he's just going to get into Attack on Titan, and he said I'm glad he waited that long, and so he don't have to wait. And I'm not gonna tell him. I want him to suffer like the rest of us. I want him to get to this part and then be just as mystified and be like, "You got to wait a year. This is it's crazy." But that's my small little rant. I'm gonna try to get into the confidence. Apology. You see how efficient I am over here. Be right back for our we'll be but at the rate I'm going, I should be done within what, 15 minutes? 15 minutes? All right. All right. Next, we're going to talk about this old X-Man Nazarene. this. All right. So, man, I am not on this today. Oh my goodness. Apology. There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. Okay. All right. So, all right. The Nazarene Mutant. Now, this is geek related, but this is like a whole different thing. Now, I wish I had some images here. Actually, I might be able to share this screen a little bit. Let me kind of help you out here. Share screen. Yeah. Okay. All right. Should be able to see this screen. Okay. So there's an article that came out. Actually, article and several videos. Now, granted, I haven't watched a lot or any of the videos yet, but I'm going to read this so you can get kind of a feel of the story here. Okay. Disney's latest X-Men comic refers to Jesus Christ as the mutant Nazarene. Blasphemy against Jesus Christ himself is now part of the Disney/Marvel media empire's descent into woke madness. The newest edition of X-Men Comics features a storyline that declares Christ wasn't miraculous because he was the Son of God, but because he was a mutant with superpowers. Jesus Christ like Professor X, Magneto, multiplying bread and fishes, and raising people from the dead. Goes into a little bit more here, the interviews. Get a little bit more about the storyline. Okay. But before the explicit blasphemy, readers are given in exchange revealing a bit of disdain Summers has for religion, praising her powers. Exodus claims that he believes that the Holy Spirit has come upon her. Your coming rekindled uh, some word that I can't pronounce of mutants. The Holy Spirit came upon you, he tells her, to which she abruptly responds, the phoenix, the burning space bird came upon me. There's no need to get religious. Heaven forbid God really exists in the modern comic world. Okay. So that's what went on and caused a whole bunch of drama all over the internet. And so I saw that and wondered like what are my thoughts about it. I wish I had a little bit of comments. My apologies. Now, to be fair, I haven't read an X-Men comic in it's been a couple years straight. Had nothing to do with no kind of this kind of controversy. Um, X-Men is my favorite comic, and I think it was the thing before Marvel bought Fox out, and Fox had the rights. Sorry, for you hear all this. Before Fox had the rights to mutants, and Marvel didn't like that, and they basically killed off so many mutants until they bought the rights, and also, hey, X Men matter now. So once I saw that that's where they was going with it, I think the last one I read was X Men Legacy, and now they start coming back, but it's kind of hard to get back into it. Uh, so if I could, I wish I can, because I do have a website, and I did write an article on this, and it should be published, probably tomorrow, because the mutant in question, I go more in detail in my article, but basically he's religious already, and from like the 12th century or something, and he's kind of an extremist already. So to get you an idea of who's saying this, who is like basically claiming that Jesus Christ is a mutant, you got to understand it's coming from kind of a mutant extremist who kind of believes that mutants are better than humans in this world. And I know this is kind of geeky, but you're here, you get some geek content. And it fits with his character. Now, is this blasphemy? Yeah, pretty much. I'm not really going to argue the theological um, implications of claiming that Jesus Christ is less than God. Uh, but this is nothing new, in my opinion. Uh, what Exodus has done, which is the mutant that is saying, which is the mutant that's kind of being quoted here, is that he's made God in his own image, which is done all throughout history, is done now. Um, there is actually a quote. It's a quote that I heard in a rap song, uh, but I believe it's quoted Voltaire. I believe so. In fact, you're going to get a sneak peek into my article here. Like I said, it will be printed. It will be printed in a bit here. Okay, so this article that's about to be played. So this is the person in question. It's not like y'all can really read that here, but this is a quote you can read. Said, if God created us in his own image, we have more than reciprocated. Just let that sit with you. If God has created us in his own image, which I believe he has, then we have more than reciprocated. So basically, we then made God into our image. We do this inconsequentially. If you think about Jesus, I don't know who's watching, so I don't know if you're a believer in Jesus Christ or not, or one of the various other faiths. How do you view Jesus? Is he God? Is he God the Son? Is he kind of a good teacher? Was he a nut? Was he crazy? Is he mythological? And so is he just kind of made up? And then even if you do believe in Jesus as being more than man, uh, well, even if you believe him just be more of a scholar. Do you see if you're kind of a strong man? I've seen in like men's group they like Jesus like almost like shred like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Other ones depict him as being very lowly and meek. We kind of do this where there's a version of Jesus that we prefer, and the images of Jesus. Even I think I was having this conversation again with my baby sister last night, and she said, "Well, Jesus has brown hair and he has a perm long brown hair." The images of Jesus that come to her mind are the pictures that she sees that's more popular around. Da Vinci. Again, that's where I originally heard the quote. I think the lyric was, "God created us our image, Da Vinci returned the favor." And even now, and I already have. I know a lot of people have big issues with seeing the white Jesus, and even me, I don't really have a huge issue. Like this picture, I believe is probably Jesus himself. Uh, I like it, multicolored is all kind of get out. Like you can kind of like glean maybe some ethnicity, but even I believe this is a dope picture. Um, I I don't believe this is what Jesus looked like either. So what? And by the way, in the comic, from the little expert that I saw, it wasn't. He made I guess you could say, a blasphemous statement, but it wasn't given a thumbs up. It was just his theory. So while I'm not going to like get like all outright angry, I know Disney's doing some stuff, uh, but I don't think this is one of the things that you're going to be to really get upset about. What I am, you can take this in kind of encouragement. The fact that Jesus Christ, a figure 2,000 years removed from since he left this earth, is still being talked about. It's still being represented in all this media, like pictures on my wall. Uh, and he's still being talked about this. Like there's a lot of people who disagree, but he's still being talked. He's still relevant. Like he's in the conversation. He's in the conversation in comics. Think about it. He was mentioned, and I saw the little clip. It was like 2 pages of small dialogue between two characters, and it's being talked about all over online. Something that doesn't exist does not create something so powerful over such a wide spectrum. Uh, this is an end. This is to me an end to be able to communicate and talk about Jesus. This is kind of, to me, I could take this as an encouragement that this is like a part where there's interest, there's knowledge, and then some people are going to be reading this and maybe not have a clue who he's talking about because he actually never does say Jesus Christ. He says the Nazarene Mutant, which most, if you're familiar with where Jesus came from, Nazarene, then the Nazarene Mutant is kind of identifying Jesus Christ as being, you know, canon to this universe. At least his stories are canon. Uh, and I think we need to take, as believers, again, I don't know who you're watching, but as far as me, I like to take the opportunity to kind of get to know Jesus. And the fact that Exodus, you know, this kind of mutant extremist, is kind of co-opting Jesus. Again, I kind of go a little bit more into an article. It's kind of co-opting Jesus to a side is actually a very human thing we do. We do this politically. We do this in religious traditions. We do this all the time. We do this in wars that we fight and positions that we carry. But what Abraham Lincoln said, it's not that Jesus Christ it's not that God is on our side, but it's that we should be on His. I'm misquoting that slightly, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm gonna say this as when you got any questions. Again, this little part of the video I'm gonna probably make is separate. And again, like I'm not mad about it. And this is kind of true to life. But this is what people do. This is kind of what people, spiritual dead people. This is what people do. So sorry, I'm going to run out of gas. Uh, what do you guys think? Do you think this is all a lot of fuss about nothing? Do you think this is opportunity to evangelize? Um, are you interested to hear more? You know, just what are your general thoughts about this whole thing? All right, we're going to get into the last bit of convo, but you know how we do. You know how we do. I can't see nothing, man. Actually, you know what? Again, I should have had this pulled up. Um, I don't care. I'm going to have better for next week because I want it. Let's see. I'm going to show you. This is kind of the last little thing we will go over. So, Diaries of a Holy Night is a manga. So, keep in mind. Okay. Can I make that bigger? Come on. Can I make. Come on now. Ah. Let's get some images here. So, Diaries of a Holy Night. That's a little something better. Uh, is actually a Christian manga here, and created by okay. You see this weird dude? That's the guy. That's his YouTube channel, and I'm going to put it in the thumbnail. I'm going let's put it in the thumbnail of this video as well. But again, this is going to be a separate video. But the video that I'm going to show is, I guess, part one of my video, because we went on for quite a bit. What I'm trying to say is, oh man, come on, don't do this to me. Don't. Okay. So me and Jeremiah, we kind of went on and on and kind of talked quite a bit. So I'm about to play this video. The video is again me interviewing Jeremiah Knight about his manga, Diaries of a Holy Knight, and I'll skip the part of the intro because the intro is just me kind of giving you this introduction. Basically, I'm asking you to pair with the audio. This was done last year, and I was using Zoom, not using this. Now, any interview I'm doing now is going to be using at least StreamYard. And not saying that Zoom is bad, but I had problems that day, and I couldn't get the audio working. So the audio, at least on his end, seems like it's coming from a phone, because it is. But I'm gonna play this little bit here. Boy, if you don't get on my screen. So I'm gonna play this video of Jeremiah Knight and myself. So bear with me as I cue this up. Right here. Oh, there it is. All right, we're gonna play this. So in this video, I'm interviewing Jeremiah Knight. Yeah. Quit stream here. So it was difficult to go. Yeah, I'm making all kind of excuses. Yeah, bear with the quality, and excuse me why my face looks all glimmer glam right now. But it is not what I would say up to par. So I ask you to bear with the conversation. I bless you. And I'll see you after the video. I'll hope you enjoy this interview with Jeremiah Knight. And I'm gonna just let y'all watch this. Why'd you make the Holy Spirit funny? It was you were God. You know this. Like I just always I love the Holy Spirit. Like I said, I grew up in a Catholic church back in non-denominational later, and I just always loved the Holy Spirit. I just always thought he kind of be like a bro, kind of be like, I don't know, just like always there for you, even though it is Jesus, I also made Jesus like this unstoppable, muscled up warrior. I mean, I don't know. Who was also, by the way, black. I don't know. That's probably gonna give me a lot of slack over here, but I don't see him as a white guy with blue eyes and blonde hair, and yeah, he's just this muscle bound warrior is the way that I see Jesus in the book. There's a few, you on social media, you hit that LOL, it just says novelty, but there's a few times where someone actually make you laugh, and I think it was that kind of got me, and I believe it was somewhere like the line, I believe it was his line that he said, because it brought David and Goliath vibes. It was right before he got powered up, and the first time he just killed all the I know what my God does to giants. Yes. Yeah. Because your head's off. I'm like, okay. That's okay. This is good. I was like, because it was like sometimes got a word come into it like, okay, all right, there's, because I started, because there's even a mix. Therapy seems to play a part in the storyline, right?
Like, because I believe, if I can remember, a term to resist is what he's recounting a flashback, like flashback, like in the beginning. Yeah,
The whole thing is just him because he's already been through all these
right,
experiences.
right.
And even chapter zero, which is, I don't think I got a chance to read chapter zero, but like it's this whole thing that's like at the very end of the story. And by the end of the story, I mean like the end of that book that you have in your hand.
Yeah.
Because like there's three books. The other ones never got published because I wanted to break it down into light novels, and I just keep getting behind. I just need to go ahead and knock those light novels out because I've got three books. Working on the fourth book in my computer, I just never got them published. Although I could. But yeah, so like it starts out with chapter zero, and then it moves into the therapy session. And why he's having therapy, because like he's waking up every night with these nightmares, and he's bothering his parents. And in that chapter zero, he's literally his arm is ripped off by this giant demon, and he's cut in half. And like there's certain things that I'm using, and I'm like, I know the Christian community is going to be mad about it. But I think it's going to reach the kind of middle of the ground Christians that we're not reaching right now.
Oh, I agree. Like, I know it's big right now. Like, people are, what's the term, deconstructing. To where people walk away from faith and they want, hey, did I ever really believed, or was I ever really saved? And yeah, there's this. Because I'm not saying everybody in church need not actually be saved, but at the same point, people are down salvation. It's kind of a mess here. And it's like some mediums are easier to reach. And I think different art styles, including manga, anime style, and that's part of it I like anime in general, just because of the conversations that people have about the story. And it's like it never just about the story. It's like, if you're talking about some philosophy, you're talking about some what's the meaning of life, almost like you're actually approaching this sector like Naruto itself, one of the best storylines, with one of the best arcs, and that's the pain arc. Know that is, it is like
Awesome.
it is. It did. How many people just like rethink about, well, how do you get world peace, or what is forgiveness, and like amazing Goku with this, like, it's probably his biggest flaw, but one I love him so much is like he's merciful. Like he doesn't like having heart like to try to kill somebody. Like, I mean, he will, but just like, okay, just merciful. Like, you just kind of got those characteristics, and I think people are looking more to that. That kind of gets me, maybe more than some of us Christians. Which is true, not true, because like I said, this stuff is not as easy to find. Because like I'm a Sunday school teacher, and I teach some teenagers from 13 to 19, and like I know a little bit what they're going through, and because I just have to flashback to when I was their age, it was like, y'all don't really see me, like you don't know what I'm going through, like the little struggles that it's not just the youth, but I do believe the youth take a lot of the heat, especially like in current like circumstances.
I agree. I just, there's no Christian anime for them right now. The most we've got is the like Dominion. That's a great comic book.
Yeah.
And we've got the manga Messiah, or the Messiah manga, but that's it. And that goes over biblical stories. But what about kids now going through their daily life? What I wanted to make was a Christian Bleach, is what I wanted to make, and I think. As it goes along, it becomes more and more like that. But the more and more they rely on the Holy Spirit, the more and more they rely and get closer to God, the more powerful they become. But everything about the enemy's attacks of yours is making them doubt.
Is it too good to be true? I want this so much, but don't know if I can trust you. My mind's racing fast, trying to.
All right, so that was my interview with Jeremiah Knight. Again, that is going to be a separate. That is right. So what you just witnessed is a separate video that's going to drop. I'm not sure when am I going to drop this. I don't want to drop all these out on the same day. I will probably drop the Funimation video that I was just that was on the beginning. That might just drop tomorrow. I might save the Jeremiah. I might make that a Friday video since it came so late in the video. I might either Wednesday or Friday, where that will probably be its own video. And the Nazarene Mutant, that'll probably just be a clip that's taken from this live, and then I'll put that either again. One of those is going to drop Wednesday, the other one's probably going to be drop Friday, but just so you can kind of get some kind of stable content. And that's looking like what I'm hopefully can do. Maybe like I said with the schedule, unless this thing sucks, and then I'll change my upload plan. But the plan usually is to kind of this way and kind of all at once, and just kind of do little drops in the throughout the week. Okay. So that is our first live. I am sure this has been quite rough. So again, bear with me. We've been live for a little over 45 minutes. I say 40 of that was actually conversation. And I'm not going to take too much of your time as I try to close this out. But basically, I will kind of leave with this. If you made it this far and you're wondering what are you watching, and it's part of the reason why I do stuff like, again, I've uploaded on the website. There's stuff that I will upload on the website, article to deal with that may not make it to the channel. Like I just did. I know I have a couple articles up there, like Lord of the Rings, and including Lord of the Rings anime that's barely been announced. So some things are not going to come to the channel, but some things, are going to be best in article form. And so not every video won't have an article, but like some like the things we talked about today are going to be articles that are going to be put on the website. Maybe I'll make Facebook on videos, and and that kind of goes with the social media. Like I'm barely on TikTok, but basically what this is I am, as you from the subjects that we talked about today, quite a bit of a nerd, but I'm also quite a big love of Christ. And rather than trying to hide either one of those things, is I'm just going to be authentic. And so this channel and the magazine that kind of launched this whole thing was centered around kind of Christian art. And you can still pick it up, but if you bought the volume 2 of my magazine, you will notice that within that, do I have? Wait right here. Let's have it. Give me again. Try to open this real quick. Okay. Hopefully, if it all works out, I will be able to launch another one of these. This one was issue 2 of my magazine, Subscribe. That's kind of where all of this started. So this was a kind of a magazine, it was a website first. Well, it was a lot of things first, but it's somewhere along the way it became a magazine. Volume 2, and I think this launched in 2020 when all of it went down. Couldn't get one out last year, but hopefully that will change by this year. I need to kind of do a little more interviews. Part of the reason why I kind of did it on this little endeavor is it is hard to find these kind of artists. And so it may take time. And then when I find them, I kind of want to make sure it's kind of good quality. But again, this is digitally. So if you go to my website, you can find this. But otherwise, in it, like in the magazine here, again, I did have some. It was like some stories, some storytelling, and then let's see, and then I did kind of. Well, this sucks. I'm sorry. It's kind of weird. And then there was kind of some DUI videos. Again, if you were to get the lecture version, this is like a video, and the artist kind of drawing kind of like the cover that's on the front here. But in this magazine, I interviewed guy who makes video games. He made this whole it's kind of like an RPG world. And even on the back, I interviewed somebody who did graphic novels. So I wasn't looking for geek content, but I was finding geek content. And it was geek content that kind of went into kind of Christian artistry. And I kind of realized like that's maybe where we're moving at. If you're looking at the movies that we're kind of seeing, how much pop culture come in. Like I got into comic books when I was like late in high school, and just seeing the impact that those stories have. And now we're on streaming services. We're on in the box office. Now non-geeky people are enjoying these stories, and I believe that this kind of thing could be a reemergence for the faith, which is why I'm not tripping on the Jesus Christ being mentioned in the X-Men comic, even maybe not in the correct way, because it's still a mention, it is still relevance, and it's still in a positive light, although not getting into all that. But hopefully I will be able to bring out issue 3 this year. I'm not making any promises. A lot of work goes into something like this. But hey, if you're interested, let me know. Either way, I'm going to put one out. But it's been a while since I talked about the magazine, and I don't want to bore you. I kind of tend to ramble on. Again, I think I've mentioned in the video that was interviewed with Jeremiah Knight. I'm a Sunday school teacher, and my students know that I can talk, despite me being introverted. But when I get on a subject, I can go on and on and on. And I said, I'm going to end the class early. And it's like 30 seconds left and I end the class. And that's my idea of early. But basically, I thank you for joining me. It is Simon Scribe, Christian Artistry, Nerd Culture. I'm going to find a better tagline for that. But basically, God bless. And I hope to see you.
There's a rainbow in your smile. There's a kiss inside your eyes. And every word is a love letter in a song we sing together. You're a flame that never dies. Oh, I'm safe beside your light.